All right, we're back. Judd'z Budz, episode 174, Gretzky plus Reeves.
For that.
That's the easiest one of all time. As always, your host, Spoke Z, joined by my good buddy, Mr. At State of Hoppy. Hoppy, how we doing?
We're just surviving at this point.
Yeah.
Every day is a different battle.
Yep, that's where I'm at. I got sick somehow again last week. Been sick since then. I think I've been sick for about 94% of 2025. I've had it up to here with this. I feel like shit all the time, and I don't like it. So we're bringing lots of positive vibes into this one, but we have some stuff to talk about today. So that
I know,
at least
it feels weird that there's actually kind of things to discuss.
Yeah, I have one topic that I'll be able to talk about. The other stuff I've gotten to the point where I don't really care about it anymore. But
there's something that's fun to still talk about.
People need to vent, so we're gonna let people. We'll do it too. But I'm at the point now where I'm like, yeah, same thing. Someone's just being more annoying about the same thing. There's like getting more dug in, trenched in their opinion. Okay.
Kind of, yeah. Like I gotta say though, the one to open up on. I don't know who else listens. I know there's some people out there that like it doesn't matter which show it is or who the people are. Like Barstool is bad, blah blah, whatever. They got one show that I listen to religiously. You can be mad at me if you want. Pardon my take is I don't know how you would argue that it's not the best sports podcast out there. I just don't know how. They talked last week. I wouldn't have even known about this if they hadn't brought it up, which was a weird topic. Tom Dundon. He's purchased another professional franchise. And it is so funny for so many reasons. So, Tom Dundon, for those who don't know, famously owns the Carolina Hurricanes. Z, do you know what team he purchased?
Yeah, the Portland Trailblazers. In my head, it's really funny if he got like fucked up and thought the Trailblazers logo was the same as the Carolina Hurricanes. And he's like, yep, that's it. I'll buy it again. And then drop, was it $4 billion?
I don't even know what it cost, but the logo is one of the many low-hanging pieces of fruit. It's just so funny that it is like the same. And they're even like reading, like they went and read the description of like, how people like explain their logo.
Mm-hmm.
They read through the entire description of the Portland Trailblazers logo. They're like, you could basically argue that they're trying to say this is a hurricane as well. Like it is the same thing. It's just funny to me that they are on completely opposite sides of the country, even though that really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. It's still funny.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I don't mean this to be like rude, because it's like, anyone that's listened to us for the past couple of years knows that I am usually pretty high on the Hurricanes. hard to go much further off of the irrelevant track with these two franchises. Like, he picked two teams that just like, it's not that they don't matter, they're not good. It's just like, all things equal, if every team threw their players back in and did a redraft, these two teams got to be pretty low on the totem poles, respectively, as far as just people giving a shit about them if you're not in the market. Fair?
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Maybe?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I barely pay attention to basketball anymore, but I remember a couple years ago when they were really good. The playoff games were fucking electric there. Like, that barn gets rocking.
Same with Carolina. Like,
yeah, oh yeah. But
local fans don't matter. I'm saying the grand scheme of like all fans of basketball. If you're not a fan of the Trailblazers, like, you don't hate them. You just don't care.
Yeah, it is two very funny teams for him to go out and buy. And I think I saw he also has like a partial stake in whatever like the big pickleball association is or whatever. So he's just got the weirdest resume.
Early investor in the
not even resume.
XFL.
Yeah, that's right too. But I also was just like, because I would assume that basketball fans have no idea who the fuck Tom Dundon is. I mean, also, I don't know who I know very few of the owners for NBA teams anyways, but like, I was like curious to see what like Blazers fans' reaction would be. And they were basically just like reading shit. Like, I'm just watching these people who have podcasts or just like posting like reaction videos. And someone, I wish I could find it because I was dying laughing. But it's just like on his phone reading, goes, well, fellas, unfortunately, it appears this guy's a complete fucking asshole, and no one likes him, so that's good. I was like, oh my god, because then they started posting like the Athletic article where it's like least favorite owners in the AHL. Like Dundon's like, I think he might be number one, and it was like hardest franchises to work with. Like Carolina was like number 3. The one that I thought was weird was like the poorest ran. Which I don't know if that's like, it's just because he can't stop getting involved in literally everything.
What?
It was like the worst ran or whatever. Like, as an
that's true.
the
funnier thing would just be like, no one that works for the Trailblazers gets a cell phone anymore. Like, that was the weirder shit that he did. It's like, yeah, scouts, you got to pay your own cell phone bills now. You're not going to travel as much. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
This sounds a lot like Buffalo now. Yeah, what's weirder? What is weirder? Dundon having the Carolina Hurricanes and the Portland Trailblazers, or Terry Pagula having the Buffalo Bills and the Penn State Nittany Lions hockey team? Both very strange mixes, but at least those are close together geographically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dundon was like, how far can I go? Like, I just want to be all over the fucking country. Oh, shit. Yeah, that was a really weird headline. I didn't really think it was real. I was just like, I mean, I don't think I actually care about this, but it is pretty funny. But again, the first thought in my head was the logos. Now I'm going through like random sports leagues across the world to see if there's other teams with like a similar looking logo. It's just like, maybe he'll buy that one. That could be a fun way to go about your business. But wow, this guy has money. By the way, like, again, it's very funny because the whole offer sheet thing with like Kakayemi and Aho, the whole thing was like, he got mad that they were like, I don't think he's gonna pay this right now. He's like, oh, you want to see how much money I got, bitch? And it's just like, we're gonna front load the fuck out of all these contracts. Like, it's awesome. So
I do love the petty wars that ensued. I'm more, because I don't know if there's many logos that are similar. Maybe the chat will tell me.
No, that's what I was telling you. Like, I'm looking at the most random sports across the world. I just want to find.
For me, it's more like, who is the equivalent of the Hurricanes and Portland Trailblazers? Like I said, not being a team that people hate, not being a team that's like not good or well run, but just like outside the market, people don't care. Who is that in baseball? Who is that in football?
Something of there's got to be like several, honestly, at baseball. Like,
True.
I feel like there's a good amount.
That's baseball. That's not even. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. I don't know.
Baseball is the one where they step out.
Yeah.
Nope. No, the perfect one. There is one that stands out for me. The LA Angels of Anaheim.
I guess now they're not great, but when
they haven't been great ever. They don't keep their stars except for Trout, who's just gonna dry out and die there. And like they're literally the step cousins to the team that runs the league right now in the LA Dodgers, and they literally went from Anaheim to being the LA Angels of Anaheim. That's just so fitting.
I pretty much hated that from the jump. Maybe that was why I stopped watching baseball when they made that change. I was like, you know what? I'm boycotting the whole league.
Take the halo away from the A and just plop the Hurricane logo on top of it. Done.
That one too. Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, had to go on a Tom Dundon rant because why not?
Yeah, he is a specimen. And I think every time I see something pop up about outside of this, just buying a team, like pretty much anytime I see him do anything, I'm like, I don't know why, but that's annoying. So this guy annoys me, even though I think some of the stuff he does is funny, like flaunting that cash, but not spending it any other time other than when people tell him he doesn't have money. It's like, oh yeah, bitch.
I need someone to offer sheet one of his players so he turns around and just offer sheets every single RFA they ever have.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be very fun. Dealer's choice, Z. Do we want to go next into Hlinka Gretzky, wild topics, or Book of Mammoth? Those are our three broad categories.
I think probably the wild stuff. We can spend a good amount of time on that. Then we can spend a pretty good chunk of the show on the Hlinka for the most part, probably. And then Book of Mammoth is going to be quick.
Yeah. Hey, we're inching in. We got to have actual hockey to talk about. Minnesota Wild. First, I mean, anytime you get Mike Russo talking about Kaprizov or Rossi, everyone's going to start talking about it again. Case in point, here we are. I got to say, though, like, is this the weirdest, like, I feel like the Minnesota Wild are, like, some hot chick, and Marco Rossi is the guy that's like perfect for them in so many ways, but like no matter what, he's not gonna be good enough, and she's gonna treat him like shit. Kaprizov is the hot guy who just is like does not care about the girl that much, but she's gonna keep on trying to chase him and make it work. And they're just sitting here shitting all over Rossi throughout all of this, while Kaprizov, like, I'm not worried, but I'm starting to get pre-worried, if that makes sense. Like, every day that he gets closer to not being under contract, he's got to at least kind of be thinking about what life could be elsewhere, right?
I mean, maybe. I think there's a pretty distinct difference between the two situations right now. Anyways, like I think everyone.
I'm not saying they're not different situations. It's two different guys, right?
No, I know. I'm just going off what you were saying. But like, I mean, I think everyone's on the same page. Whether Kaprizov signs as long as he signs here, whether it's long term, whether it's like a 4 or 5 year deal for some amount of time, he's going to be the highest paid player in the league. And that contract is pretty much just like want to sit down, make sure we're all good, make sure that like Kaprizov's camp, any information that's getting to them outside of like Bill Guerin himself or anyone in the Wild front office, like want to make sure that the information they're getting is from them only, nothing that they're hearing isn't true, whatever. And pretty much just do it face to face, in person, or whatever. Meanwhile, the Rossi thing, we have no fucking. I mean, the closest consensus we can get, it's gonna if he signs, it'll be a short term. Like prove it bridge, probably. Like I would be shocked if it was more than 2 years, to be honest with you. We've mentioned the 5x5, which we'll talk about that in a second. Let anyone who wants to go off about it. But like the fact they haven't talked since June is probably the thing where it's just like, well, that's fucking weird and annoying and doesn't make me feel good. And there's pretty much all of it's like confusing. because I think all the fans would have agreed that this should have been pretty easy. We both love Marco Rossi. I would sign him long term. I'd give him the dough that pretty much for what we heard, what he's like basically asking for, unless it starts with an 8. Like I don't think that's not probably wise in that case. I understand where the Wildwood coming from. They don't view. The thing that I don't love is like when they're like, well, we don't want to pay him more than Eriksson Ek. It's like, well, Eriksson Ek wouldn't have signed the contract that he's on right now. Right now, he wouldn't sign that deal again. He would demand way more money because he's worth significantly more money. And also, that was 4 years ago. So the cap is already like higher than it was then. And it's projected to skyrocket versus when Eriksson Ek signed that contract. So it's a completely different situation. But that's the thing. I think that's the big difference where it's just like, yeah, the Kaprizov one's basically done. It's like, hey, is it long term, short term, like whatever.
But dude, the player comp that is driving me up a tree is Matt Boldy. What the fuck does Matt Boldy's contract have to do with Marco Rossi? Like, it's insane to be like, well, he's a $7 million player, so you're definitely not that because you're not Matt Boldy. Because the timing that was signed has nothing to do with it at all. Like, completely different salary cap position. People were pissed about the Boldy contract initially. There were people that were mad about a 7x7, thinking that the Wild overpaid. Like, we're going to reach a point that Matt Boldy is like so pissed off and tired of hearing about how underpaid he is that he's going to like hold out and be like, yeah, you're going to have to restructure this, even though that doesn't happen in hockey. Like it is being battered around so much. And everyone's like, oh, if he gets 7, then Marco Rossi can't get 7. Like it's not the same. It's not. I'm going to lose my mind if people keep on throwing out the Boldy contract. Do you disagree?
No. I mean, yeah, it's two different players, two different positions. The only real similarity is they're top players that are young in the organization. They're like supposedly like going to be here. Well,
like what? Here's the question:
like young stars potentially in the league, whatever.
Boldy's a free agent this summer. He's making 10, 9,
somewhere around 9, probably. Yeah.
Like somewhere in that range, right? So it's just. It's crazy that people keep throwing that out. And the other thing that people have, I don't know, maybe over or underblown is the whole whiteboard thing, right? Marco learns that he is the 4th line center when he walks in the locker room and sees his name on the board. It's weird. I understand maybe where it would bother him, but like, tough shit.
Far from the first time that's ever happened to a player, yeah.
It's more so what happened after. Like, was there ever a conversation? We don't know. Because, like, we hear the conjecture with Russo and LaPanta, and, like, I'm just done talking about LaPanta's opinions because I just don't have anything else to say about what he thinks about the situation. But it's interesting to hear them keep talking about like, oh, you know what? Hines and Gerrans need to sit down and talk to him. Like they need to help him like feel like understand what happened and see what the situation is. Dude, did that conversation not happen in exit meetings? Because if not, that's like an egregious offense. Why would you not talk about it at that time and let this drag into the summer? And if they did, what didn't connect? Like if Rossi is just sitting here being poopy pants and like sad that he got demoted, but they've given him every reassurance that he's gonna be, you know, 2nd line center, call it whatever you want. I understand him like digging his heels in and wanting more money to validate that. I do. But if he is just sitting there being pouty about it, then okay, maybe I side with Guerin a little bit more. If Guerin's just sitting here saying, oh, you're going to take what we give you because we have control and screw you. Okay. It's not exactly the way to handle this if you think he's going to be here long term, which is exactly why he doesn't want to sign a cheap deal because he knows he's getting shipped out right away. Right? It's weird. I don't know that we're going to find an actual compromise because now both sides don't want the 5x5. The Wild don't want to offer it and he doesn't want to take it. I just don't even know how you move forward on this. Because now if they do a 2-year deal, they're not going to go past $5 million. How does this happen? How do we come to terms on a contract?
Yeah, I mean, like part of it too, like because I mean, I think I saw Russo was talking about this somewhere. Like they want to like once camp starts, potentially start sitting down with Gustafson and looking at well, if we're going to pay him like a 1C, the Faber's going to be a $9 million player. Like
Dude,
Matt Boldy is going to be up again in a
gets
couple of
6.
years.
Is that a 1C? Doesn't sound like a 1C to me.
Right. No, I know. I'm just throwing ideas around.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm more just arguing with like, because I've seen people say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that is the sentiment out there.
Yeah. I mean, the other day, like you and I have the same opinion on this as far as like what we think Rossi's worth, how good he is. He's only getting better. I can understand the Wild not looking at him like an $8 million player, or if they just don't want to give him big dough long term. If they look at like the way that they're like some of the players that are coming up now, like the Williams of the world, again, Faber's gonna be making $9 million. At some point, Boldy's gonna be up for another contract, which will be significantly more than $7 million. Kaprizov's about to be the highest paid player in the league potentially. Besides,
can we pause on that real quick? If we're gonna use Boldy as a comp for Rossi, why are we not using it for Kaprizov? Is Kirill Kaprizov more than twice the player that Matt Boldy is? Because that's what they're going to pay him.
Right. No, I don't know.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, I guess. I mean, I could not tell you because they're not very clear about like how the meetings went, any conversation they've had with Marco, other than like, yeah, we like Marco, we want him to stay here, we want to sign him. And like we've got some information about like offers from the past that obviously Rossi wasn't going to accept. I would just assume again, like when they look at the players they have coming, who's here now, the contracts will be dealing out. They just don't view him as like a player that long term they look at as like a top 6 forward, like one of the higher paid players in the team. Again, there's going to be other players who are going to be naturally just paid more, so he's going to be somewhere like maybe up there, but not top of the line. But I mean, to me, it just screams like they don't, unless they can get him on like the bargain of all bargains, they probably just don't view him like a long-term like difference maker for them, like in Minnesota. Which I mean, I get it. He's like it's a weird profile for like a top 6 setter, but like what he's done, what he's overcome, and like how good he's been the last 2 years, and the fact that he's only getting better, like to me is crazy. But maybe they just are potentially looking to like end up going in some different direction again. I don't know. We don't really, we have very little like information outside of like some of the stuff that happened in like.
That's what's frustrating though, right? So much speculation, and people like.
The one good thing, I mean, like, well, I don't know if you want to say this one good thing, but like, I mean, like the work that Rossi's putting in this offseason, like he looks like a fucking machine right now. And you know, Marco Rossi's not a guy that's going to want to miss any of training camp. So you would assume that he probably wants to get, I mean, obviously he wants to get this done before that. But I don't think he has any interest in missing any time, especially if he knows he's only going to be signed like a 1 or 2 year deal anyways. Like, he's going to want to hit the ground running and prove that he is worth that $7 million if that's what he's looking for, or 7.5, whatever it is. But I don't know. Again, the other thing for me is like I look at the other contracts for players like within 2 or 3 years of like his age, and like a Jackson Blake signs long term. What was his deal? Like 7.5, 8?
I don't know, but the one that drives me up a tree is Coronado.
Yeah, the Coronado one was like it's pretty cool. I'd probably give Marco. I mean, like what Rossi's done more than Coronado has. So like, and he's a center. So I mean, that's close to a comp as far as like the age and.
Here's the other one that kind of chaps my ass. Like when Russo, it's funny because like Russo will speculate and Russo will report, right? And he's pretty like clear about which one it is, and he does a really good job of like not tiptoeing that line. Like he's usually pretty straight up, like this is my intuition on the situation versus this is what I know. I believe Mike Russo if he comes out and says that there was zero interest in offer sheets, right? Like I have no reason not to believe that. But for LaPanta to grip into that and just go off about how, yeah, see, like the league has spoken. He's not worth it. So he needs to take whatever the Wild offer. I just think that that's such a bullshit argument because it's not apples to apples. Like, the value to the Wild is very different than another team that has to give up an asset to bring him in if you're going to sign an offer sheet. You've also got to factor in that there was only a handful of teams that even had the compensation needed to offer sheet him. And then of those teams, does he want to go to them? Like, it's just using that as the reason that, oh, clearly he's not worth what he thinks he is. Like, I just think that's lazy and it's kind of bullshit. What do you think?
Yeah, I think like the other thing is too, we don't even know if he actually was just like, well, I guess I'll wait for an offer sheet. Like, we don't even know if that was actually like, it was like like they got floated out once. So like, no, so what I'm saying
more than his.
Right. So what I'm saying is like, that's why I'm like, that's a weird, like, it's a weird like thing to like add to your argument or whatever. But I mean, listen, I have a feeling it ends up being like, well, like 2 by fucking 4.5.
I just don't.
I don't know.
Accepting that, I think he tells him to shove it.
Well, I mean, it sounds like it's either that or he's like, I mean, he's just not going to sign anywhere because I don't know. If it comes down to training camp, they've got absolutely like nothing, like no other options. Like maybe that's that. I don't think that's a great way if you're the Wild to like, well, like no one else wants you, so you better sign this deal. Like I don't think that's great, but it might end up just being like, it might end up just like happening that way.
I guess my perspective on it is, who gets hurt more by Marco Rossi not getting signed? Marco Rossi. But is it as big of a gap as people want you to think? The Wild cannot afford to not make the playoffs this year. They cannot. Bill Guerin can't afford that. Leopold's pockets can't handle that. They need him there. They're just not willing to flinch this early and admit it. And hate to say it, but let's just say worst case scenario, doomsday scenario. Kaprizov comes back from Russia and he doesn't want to sign a contract yet. Can you afford to lose him and Rossi in the same season? That'd be pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, does the hammer almost switch to Rossi if Kaprizov comes back and doesn't sign? Now, let me be clear. I am not speculating that he won't sign. I'm not reporting that in any way. It's just a non-zero possibility that it happens, right? I mean, he is working out with Malkin in Russia, so apparently Malkin's trying to talk him into leaving the Wild if you listen to certain people, but that was a great workout video, though. I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm just like, I understand the Wild side. I do. I understand Rossi's side. It's the outside noise of people talking about it that it just feels like people are trying to like carve him down. Like, oh, Marco Rossi, this is still life-changing money. $2 million. It's not a lowball offer if it's that much money. Like, dude, if you offer me 30 or 40% less than I'm worth, I'm not going to take that. Like, what?
Right.
I don't know. It's just a weird discussion to have about like, well, it's life-changing money either way, so he should just take it and say thank you. Like, yeah. I just think that's a really weird conversation to have. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what I land on all this is like, given the fact that like this is where we're at, like we can't, because this is obviously not an ideal way for this to go down, but he ends up signing like that, whatever, 1 or 2 year prove it deal. He just hits the ground running and just torches, and then ends up like earning that contract. Or if they still are like, we still don't really want, we don't view him in our like long-term plans, then he like just like whatever skyrockets the straight value and we'll see what happens. Right. So I mean, I think that's probably like the best case scenario. I mean, even just for like both sides, either way. But I don't know. I have a feeling it'll end up being something like that, like a 2-year deal with like low money. Or if he's really confident that he's just gonna like smash it this year, then like a 1-year deal. Who knows? That feels super risky to me. But like if he's that confident, then go for it.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, we've gone on for a while here saying exactly what Ron's put here. Like, holdout hurts both parties. Like, the Wild and Rossi are going to be in a very bad spot if that's where it lands. Neither side wants it. I think the Minnesota Wild are at least pretending that they're way more willing to let that happen. And I'm fascinated to see what a resolution might look like. Because I don't see it in the tea leaves right now. And I really hope that the whole Kaprizov thing is just get him back to the States, sit down, have a quick conversation with Bell, decide how many zeros you want there, and move on.
I feel like I haven't really seen anything like to the contrary, but like, I mean, I also people know I barely pay attention in the off season anyways. Like I catch up every once in a while what's going on, but like every time I read or see anything or listen, it sounds like that's basically where they're at with the Kaprizov thing. So I'm fairly confident somebody gets done before training camp, or like whatever day 1 or 2 of training camp, or just whenever the fuck he gets back here. I forget when they said he was coming back, but
it's one of those things, man, where it's just eerie when, like, again, this is not news or reporting, but like when Russo even sounds a little hesitant, right? He's not saying no. He still thinks it's getting done, but like you can hear the hesitation. That gives me a lot of pause. And hearing people outside of the market, there's some people that are just window dressing. Like there's the Lazaruses of the world who are like, oh yeah, he said he wants to go to Chicago. Oh, wait, sorry. I slightly misspoke. The Blackhawks would love to have Kirill Kaprizov. Like, all right, dude. But there are people out there who are very convinced that he is not going to be with Minnesota. And some names I just glance it off. There's others where it's like, oh shit, if you really think this, that scares me a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm still very much like, gun to my head, Kaprizov stays. But it doesn't feel as good as it did a couple months ago.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Yeah. But we'll find
the
out,
4-year deal would actually be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't hate it.
For sure.
Boy. So much fun. Anything else wild related that we need to talk about before we jump to the Hlinka Gretzky tournament?
No, I don't think so. Realistically, that's the two things that are going on.
I mean, and Jack Johnson is going to get rid of all of our defensive prospects, so watch out.
Obviously.
It's always funny seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's talk Hlinka, and this is way more your camp because I won't even pretend that I've been dialed in for the Hlinka Gretzky. Especially, I mean, I feel bad saying it, but if Team USA sent any of their guys, maybe I'd care. But they never do. So I don't.
Well, the Hlinka this year was pretty fucking sweet. I mean, I think at this point, anyone or most people listening to this, we've talked about the Hlinka pretty much every year. It really kicks off the draft season for the prospects. Typically, this is a tournament where Canada sends an absolutely loaded lineup, which this year was one of their best. USA doesn't really send many of their top guys like from the program or anyone from the program, so it's mostly like USHL, some AAA, whatever. And Sweden, Finland, they always send a pretty good squad. But for the second time ever, USA pulled it off to beat Canada in the semis, and then they took down Sweden in the final. A couple of guys that are going to be eligible in 2007 really popped off. They had a couple of players that like were not like unknowns or whatever, but really played well. Like we'll talk a couple standouts from the big countries, but I mean it was awesome. Again, second time they've ever won. Like Canada's won almost every single one of these, and like I like a couple of years ago they like were not. I think it was 2022 or 3. The Hlinka Canada was like. At no point were they trailing. It was only like 0-0 for like a combined 9 minutes, like the whole tournament that year. They just like kicked the shit out of everybody. And Canada's lineup this year was loaded. A couple of their top guys weren't there. Like McKenna obviously wasn't there, and then Ryan Rubrick wasn't there. But they still set one of the best lineups we've seen. Like Keaton Verhoff was there, Matthews Preston up top, Tynan Lawrence, like probably 3 or 4 guys that have real shots going top 10 of the draft. Ryan Lynn's another one who I really like. We'll talk about him in a little bit, but USA pulls it off. They looked really good on the power play. They got really good numbers from like their back end, produced offensively, and a couple standouts that really like kind of put themselves on the map to be potential first round candidates this year. But like, yeah, no, it's awesome. Like this summer they win a world championship for the first time. Now they come out here, Hlinka, second ever. I think it was the first time they even appeared in a final since like 2016, maybe. But yeah, no, it's a huge win. And it was obviously in Brno and Trenton. But yeah, no, the game's really good. Including like Sweden, Finland's really good too. Sweden went nuts offensively, top 3 scorers of the tournament, including one of the defensemen. Talk about them a little bit, but it was a really good tournament. Really cool that USA pulled it off. And you can't help but wonder too, like, especially for USA hockey, how much like the 4 Nations tournament last year really like put an emphasis on guys wanting to play. Like the link is different because again, there's only a certain amount of guys from the US that are going to be like invited to go play. But I mean, we saw what happened with the World Championships this summer, where like guys really wanted to go, and again they won, obviously. But it's been a pretty good year all around. I mean, like obviously back-to-back World Juniors, so like USA hockey's like continues to take steps forward. But yeah, no, it was a really cool tournament, very fun. We can probably just talk about some standouts for different teams.
Well, I got one question, and I hate to like, it's gonna come off a lot like, oh, you're a scout. What do you look for when you're scouting? Like, I'm not doing that, but I am kind of curious for myself and for the listeners. Like, when you're scouting this versus scouting World Junior, like, are you looking for different things? Or is it literally just, I'm watching the same hockey, it's just happening at a different time?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know how everyone else kind of views the Hlinka, but like for a lot of these players, it's like probably the first few times you've ever seen them play, and it's like the first time they all like are at the same event. So it's really, for me, it's more so like getting to know some of the other like prospects, like maybe some guys outside the projected like top 10 coming into the year already. So it is just more of a chance to get exposure to like the other guys who are going to be going first, second, third round, some relatively unknowns, like see who pops off against players their own age, and you kind of just go down a rabbit hole from there, like going and finding old tape from some of the guys. And like a lot of these guys be the USHL, a bunch are going to play college hockey, a bunch of the guys are coming from the OHL, CHL to college hockey. So it is just like getting a chance to like see all of these guys. It's like the first event that pops off like the draft season. So it's a really good tournament just to watch, to get to know some of the big players they're going to be tracking all year long.
It's fair. So who popped in this tournament that, like, obviously all these guys are on your radar to some extent. Is there anyone that you were like, oh, I wasn't expecting that?
Yeah, I mean, like pretty much the collective effort, like the collective performances from Team USA were just like unbelievably impressive. Like Blake Zielinski is a kid that was their most consistent offensive performer all year. Probably not a first round candidate at the moment, but like first couple of rounds, really creative with the puck. I think he finished with 9 points and had points in all 5 games. Was behind the 3 Swedes for the most points in the tournament, but he was just a constant factor with the puck. Pretty creative playmaker, can score goals, got a really good shot. I think he was with Des Moines last year in the USHL, put up like 30 points, 40 games, so he's pretty good for a draft -1. And he's obviously expected to have another real big year in the USHL, headed to Providence in a couple of years. But he really popped offensively for them. Another standout for me for Team USA that I had not really seen a ton of, because this is another kid that's going to be eligible for 2007. He's an October birthday. Levi Harper. Really fun player. Thrives with the puck on his stick. Super agile skater, like retrievals, breakouts. He's just a machine. And I mean, he was producing offensively. He's got really good offensive instincts. He popped for them, looked really good. Jack Hextall is another forward for them who looked really good. He's probably a potential like late first round pick potential at the moment. Again, we're fucking August, so who knows where this ends up. Right. But he was very good. Really dynamic playmaking, strong skater. Another kid in the USHL, played for Youngstown. Obviously going back there again, committed to Michigan State, shocking. But he looked really good here. One of the better players for USA. Finished with, I think, let me find the actual.
Wait, so if he's committed to Michigan State, that means he's going to decommit and go to the Gophers when his brother does, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, 7 points in 5 games for Hextall. And then the other one, or there are 2 for USA. Another kid eligible in 27. Noah Davidson was an absolute machine. Like pretty much every time he touched the puck, he was making things happen. 6'3" forward, dynamic offense. Again, November 08, so he's eligible at 27. But he's headed to Medicine Hat, WHL. Actually, he's a Shattuck St. Mary's kid. But he was incredible at this tournament. He's big, skates. He's got a really good shot, really creative with the puck. He made some Swedish defensemen look absolutely silly. But he was committed? Awesome, big time stand up. But he's I don't think he's actually. I think he's committed to BC. For 27, 28. BC kid. And then the last one for USA that really popped off for me was Nikita Klepov, 6 points in 5 games, including it was either the game winner, I think it was the eventual game winner in the gold medal game against Sweden. But Russian American, born in Florida, but was playing in Russia up until like 2023. I think he came over a couple years ago.
It's just so fitting that he was born in Florida.
Yeah, I know. Played for Sioux City in the USHL last year. Committed to Michigan State again, shocking. But he's actually going to be heading to Saginaw on the OHL next season. But really, really skilled with the pucks. Got a really nice release. Flashed a ton of playmaking ability at this tournament too. So he stood out big time for the USA. It was awesome with the gold medal game. Yeah, those are the USA standouts. So it was just again like guys that we've seen a little bit tape from. Just again, it's not the program kids, but a lot of kids from the USHL, obviously. So it was good to see them all at this tournament. Obviously, they got the results. So yeah, and a lot of players that we're going to be like having to keep track of. I mean, the Klepov's another guy, probably late first round pick potential right now.
Late.
Like the 30, 31, 32 maybe. I think Wheeler actually just posted his first top 32 for 26 today, so I could check that out too. But yeah, he looked really good. He had a couple of toe drags that were just like electric, and I mean he was hitting everything that moves too. Like he's a fun player.
So was there anyone that you were like excited to watch this tournament that just kind of disappointed?
I don't know about like disappointed per se, but I mean I think like you definitely saw the flashes of what makes Keaton Veerhoff incredible. Like I mean the size skill combo. I mean, this is a kid that put up 21 goals as a draft -1 at WHL last year. Like, that's insane. But he flashed some of that upside or the offensive ability. Like, I think he's a good skater. It's like not necessarily one of his absolute strengths, but it's not a weakness either. But like, he showed some flashes there. I think like just coming in as a kid that like, you know, there are some people trying to create the noise like, hey, this is going to be a kid who's going to be challenging McKenna. Like, he might be a guy that could upset McKenna first overall, which is not completely out of the realm of possibilities. Like, he is that tier of player, but like, I just don't know if anyone's really going to be able to top whatever McKenna's going to do this season. But yeah, I don't think there was that many there wasn't any games where like Veerhoff was just like taking over from the back end, but like pretty much every game you saw flashes of what makes him great. Like the ability for like how young he is, his size, like the upside just offensively. And I mean, he's not afraid to throw the body around, obviously, when you're that size. But saw flashes. I probably was expecting a little bit more of like a dominating presence. Another one from Canada that like I don't really know, wouldn't say like it was like a disappointing tournament. Like you were just like expecting him to like put up like double-digit points and potentially lead the tournament points. Is Tynan Lawrence. Who was USHL playoff MVP last year. It's draft -1 for Muskegon, which is obviously very impressive. That being said, he made a ton of he was very noticeable in like different areas of the game, like in the neutral zone, even like chipping in defensively, like big hits, physical, played with pace, high energy, which just wasn't finding the back of the net as much as you probably would have expected him to, but like still looked really good. Still probably a kid that's looking at top 8 potential here. But those were 2 that you probably were expecting to like potentially even like lead the tournament points or like really pop off. That like again, you saw the flashes. Like I didn't really come away with like being like, wow, that was just a bad tournament.
Yeah. Where's Lawrence going?
Ty Lawrence, he's going. Where did he? Is he? He might be committed to BU. Let me check again, actually, because that's going to drive me nuts. Muskegon. Wow, yeah, why wouldn't my computer freeze? That'd be weird if it didn't. I think I'm like 90% sure it's BU, which means it's not. BU. But I think he should be back in Muskegon next year. I think he's got the C actually for Muskegon. But yeah, just again, thought we were gonna see like him potentially put up like over 2 points a game at this kind of tournament. But
Sure.
Again, was super noticeable and making plays. But there were a couple of kids on Canada that looked fucking incredible that I'm really excited about. Like Ryan Lynn on the back end, for me, probably going to be I don't know. He's going to be an interesting one because he's a 5'11" right shot defenseman. But like in this draft pass, especially defensively, he's probably the best like defensive defenseman in the class. Really, really strong skater, breakout machine. He does have some offensive upside. He just like the name of the game for him is his defensive game. You cannot beat him wide. He's super strong, reads the play really well. He was noticeable every shift virtually for Canada this tournament. Looked unbelievable, put up some decent points. I really, really, really like Ryan Lynn, and he was incredibly impressive the whole tournament. And then the other one, Ethan Belchez, we talked about him before. This kid is fucking massive, obviously. I think he's 6'5", 6'6", 230 pounds. And I mean, just a machine, like physically, obviously, like does not pass up the opportunity to just like lay someone out. But like he has some absolutely ridiculous hands, especially like right in front of the net. Like I was listening to Chris Peters and Ken Robinson on their show talk about him. Like I think it was Cam got a text for like a scout where it's like still like different player as far as like the approach to the game, but like as far as small area skill and how good he is in front of the net, he's like a JVR type where it's just like, first of all, you're obviously not like get position on it, but like what he could do at bouncing, like you can't, he's another kid. He's just like, there's no bad pass. He can redirect anything that's in front of him. Plus, like small, you can just like stick it in a phone booth and in front of the net, like he's more often than not going to score. And I thought his skating actually stood out significantly more than it did last year. Like he looked like significantly more quick on his feet, way more agile. And if he can become like a plus skater, boy, like watch out, this kid's going to be. I mean, he's already a projected top 7-6 player, but like if his skating does take another step forward, like he's going to be looked at like in that top 5 for sure.
Do you think he'll ever make it as a player in this league, though?
Oh yeah, there is no world where he doesn't.
I don't know, dude. If the comp is JVR,
yeah, he might need Phil.
That's what I'm saying.
Might need Phil.
James, don't forget who made you a player in this league.
James, don't forget who made you a player in this league. Oh, actually, I did have one more.
I saw a video of Phil pop up recently where he was like walking by a Dion Phaneuf interview, and Dion just starts fucking carving him.
Oh yeah.
He's like, oh, Phil, isn't that like your 4th cookie today? He's like, it's my first cookie. Fuck you.
He's like, no, it's not Phil.
It's not Phil.
Yeah, no, that Leafs team that was just like horrible, but like the clips from that show or when they were all mic'd up was great. God, yeah. Phil Kessel, the gift that just keeps on giving. But last big standout for Canada, another kid that I'm a huge fan of, Matisse Preston. Like, holy shit, he like another kid. Every time he touched the puck, he was making plays, flies around the ice, bit undersized, like 5'10", 5'11", super skilled, has a great shot, unbelievably smart player, really effective along the wall. Is not afraid to get inside. Like he is a very, very fun player. Big fan of Matisse Preston. He stood out big time at this tournament. I think he finished with 7 points in 5 games. But as far as forwards go for Team Canada, it was him and Belchez that probably stuck out the most.
Nice. All right.
Then a couple more though for Sweden though. Sweden, they obviously make it to the gold medal, lose to USA. They had the top 3 scorers in the whole tournament. Marcus Nordmark's a really interesting one, right wing, like absolute sniper.
I don't know shit about him.
He was flashing insane playmaking this tournament too. Really popped off. Was probably projected like late first round, probably still around there. I think some people just like given what he just showed, like if you were gonna, again, we're in August, but he definitely like put himself on the map big time to be a potential like mid first round guy. But he led the whole tournament in points and goals, 7 goals, 12 points in 5 games, points in every single game, was the driver for Sweden offensively. Was really, really fun to watch. Some of the individual skill that he was boasting was just incredible. And pretty much every time he touched the puck, you were just assuming it was going to end up in the back of the net, but he was fucking awesome for Sweden.
Where's he playing this year?
Marcus Nordmark, is he one of the U-Garden kids? Yeah, he's a U-Garden kid. Shocking.
I feel like, is that just where everyone plays this year?
I mean, like U-Garden every year they've got one of the most insane like prospect pipeline, like as far as like NHL talent they produce every single year. Like even in like drafts where like there's not a ton of guys from Sweden going the first round, like almost every fucking kid on their J20 team ends up going at some point like second, third, fourth, fifth round. Like they just all they do is just produce draft picks.
How does it work over there? Like I genuinely have no idea what the process is. Is it just like pure free agency? Is there a draft? Is it regional? Like how do you determine what team you're on?
Yeah, I mean, generally it like starts regionally, but like I mean, kids get plucked when they're like super young. Plus, you've got like there are some teams like what teams do it a lot? Mora, IK, like Modo. They'll get a kind of. They've been like dipping into like the kids from like Norway. In some of those other countries, like even like
your garden though, compared to other teams, like is it like, hey, people that are in this region of Sweden are our players, or is everyone in Sweden like drafted into J20, SHL, whatever? Like I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't even know if there's like actually a draft over there.
So they just run like, shit, basically.
Yeah, I mean, like it's interesting too, though, because I mean, it's not like they win the J20, J18 like every year. Plus, like, they do have like the J18, the J20, so like the kids play in both. Like last year, like Nordmark specifically played J18 and J20 like pretty evenly, including both playoffs. Like, but yeah, I don't know. They just have whatever they're doing, however they do it over there. Like I know they pretty much preach like really like soft skills, small area type stuff, like when they're super young. And I mean, like they just end up pretty like super smart players too. But yeah, but no, Nordmark again, like I mean, just incredible at this tournament. And then let me pull up my sheet again because I had a couple others. Again from Sweden. The other top scorer with 11 points, 5 games, Elton Hermansson, scored 10 seconds into the gold medal game. He just picked up the puck off the faceoff and solo just like danced through the neutral zone into the blue line and unleashed this absolute missile of a release top quarter. 10 seconds in, it was like, okay, well, we might have a problem here, but really flashy playmaker, insane skill, but like the shot and like his ability to just the quick release and like just super deceptive with it too. Absolute sniper, definitely a kid looking to go mid to late first round, could potentially go higher than that. He's a Modo hockey, played both J20. Well, actually, he played more so in the J20 than he did J18 last year. Actually, I think he was with the Rebro last year though. Put up decent points, but he was incredibly noticeable every single game for Sweden, like him and Nordmark both. But like, again, the thing that stands out when you watch him is just like his ability to just unleash the puck from anywhere is incredibly impressive. And obviously he's got just insane hands. But yeah, he looked really good. And they had a defenseman, Axel Elofsson, I think that's how you say it. Right shot D-man, somewhat undersized, 5'10". Ended up with 11 points as well. Bit of a power play specialist, incredible skater, really offensive defenseman, super agile. It's really good for them, obviously, the power play. In the J20 last year, he was almost at a point per game as a draft -1, which is very impressive as a defenseman. I mean, they put up good points over in that league anyways, but obviously a big time standout. But like weirdly, the defenseman for Sweden that really stood out, potentially even more so, was this kid, Malte Gustafsson. He is an absolute animal. 6'4", 200 pounds. Where is he? I think he's HV71 over in Sweden. Super mobile, two-way, like can transport the puck, but defensively, like just kills plays. And obviously, he is not afraid to use his size, and super physical in his own end. One of the best defensemen at the tournament. He probably would have got like defenseman tournament if it wasn't for like Elifson putting up 11 points. But I mean, I think he probably impacted the game more so, like in all three zones. Just again, super imposing defensive presence. Just cannot get to the net front when he's on the ice. Again, really good on retrievals, getting the puck out, first pass, can transport it himself. Really strong skater, super mobile. Big fan of Maltikos. And again, probably a kid that's, especially given the fact that he's right shot and he is 6'4", and he moves as well as he does. Justifiably though, not just because of how big he is and the fact it's right shot, like he's definitely a first round candidate. As of August, 10 months out from the draft, but he stood out big time at the tournament as well. Really like his game.
There you have it. Is that everybody?
Probably. And then last one, just a kid from Finland. Brother Emil Hemming got drafted by Dallas a couple years ago. Oscar Hemming, also an absolute animal, 6'4". He is an absolute sniper, but he loves to run people through the boards. Like every time he jumps over, he is looking to lay the body, like absolute beast on the forecheck. Is not afraid to play through contact, absolute beast on the power play. Like when he just sets up shop, you have to know where he's at. He can snipe from pretty much anywhere. He was really noticeable this tournament. They tried to spread the wealth out offensively, like halfway through the tournament, and that kind of obviously like they put him on the second line with some lesser teammates, and that really like affected him. But still noticeable just as far as like the physicality. Like he was going to make himself useful whether he was going to be their go-to guy for offense or not. Still led their team in points, but he's got an absolute howitzer of a shot. Big kid that uses his size. He's really physical. He's very fun. So he's pretty similar to his brother.
I was gonna say it sounds eerily familiar.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Satan on South Park.
Yeah.
You remind me of someone I used to date. Like you're really similar. All right, real quick, because no Mateo today. He had something he had to run to. So I'm going back through. I know there's a handful of comments that came through. Not too many questions. Let me just zip through here. Oh, of course, Riley, sup boys. USA really making waves internationally. Big progress. Absolutely. Yep. We love it. Let's see. Cosmo, for all we know, Kaprizov gets his rocks off, making fans sweat, and loves being the hero when he signs last minute. LOL. If this was the case, nothing but respect. That's incredible. Yep. I would love it. He's holding out for Billy Sushi to be like, all right, dude, we got you. Please just sign the contract.
He's like, no, tell me, like, how bad do you want? Like, beg.
Just like, you know how you guys have those sushi boats? I want you to make a sushi PJ called the Kirill.
Hell yeah.
That'd be pretty fun. Ron would be very edgy, giving 97 an 8-year deal with the injury history. I mean, I understand the comment. At the same point, it's just one of those things where this franchise can't afford to not have him. So you have to take the risk and hope that injuries aren't an issue. Because I don't think the injuries, at least as far as it's been reported, are things that we're like worried about him aggravating. It's not like this is long-term stuff. But hey, I at least, again, understand the sentiment of like, yeah, do we want to give him an 8-year? But yes, you do.
Yeah, again, like that's the correct sentiment for any player who's like 27, 28, 29 years old or whatever, and like as is.
And I think it's the recency bias too of like he's had
we missed half the year,
the last couple of years. So I get it. I do.
Yeah. And then it's just like it's Kirill. So it's like, well, yeah, it's still for whatever you throw that out the window just because he is that fucking good.
Yeah,
and like it's not that important to the team as a.
Rules don't always apply. I don't know if you saw. Kirsten told Jesse that she wouldn't do Rossi for Crosby straight up. So I don't know what players are worth when they're older. Let's see. We've got Denny. What's your thoughts on the new player's contract? The cap is going to kill anyone from signing the Stars long-term contracts. Your thoughts? I'm not 100% sure I follow this.
Is it the 6-year like max term?
Maybe that's. Oh, okay. I can see that being the case. I don't know. I think it's good for hockey that the contracts are going to keep refreshing. Like it keeps teams honest, and I think it keeps players a little bit more honest too.
I mean, plus they're going to be able to sign more contracts. Like,
you know what though, man? To counter what I just said, it's insane to me that the league, for no reason whatsoever, there was no problem. No one complained about trade deadline deals. And then they're like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make it really hard to trade players at the deadline because you have to trade them 75 days ahead of time if you want to do any like secondary salary retention.
Right. Yeah.
What problem is that solving? It is good for the league. It is positive. It generates excitement. It gets people interested to have players move. That's just a fact. That's how it is. So as I say, it's good that they've got to keep on re-upping more regularly, keep teams and players honest, get more player movement. The league doesn't want it. So what do I know? I don't know.
Yeah, it was a weird business decision.
Yeah. This one from Denny, and I'm curious what you think here, Z, because I've seen very ranging opinions on this. Not in the idea that McTavish would be a guy to target in a Rossi trade, but there's some people that think like Rossi for McTavish is completely fair. There's others that think that Rossi's more valuable. There's others that say absolutely not. Like you'd have to do Rossi plus to get McTavish. What is the gap between these two players? Not necessarily like what they are on the ice game one this season, but the value of that player long term to the acquiring franchise.
Yeah, I mean, like, first of all, just two completely different players, but like two young centers who have put up similar-ish numbers last couple of years. I think McTavish right around like 50, 55 last couple, which I mean, for a young center on the Anaheim Ducks, like
it's also the Anaheim Ducks. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's like it's impressive. Yeah, I mean, you look at McTavish, he's definitely just profiles more as like that power forward, like super physical. He's tough. He's mean. He also just has some like ridiculous skill, which is why he went third overall. Like I remember like in his draft season watching his tape and like with Peterborough, it was a joke. Like he was so much better than everyone on the fucking ice, and he was just making guys look stupid. And like when he gets the boots going, like I mean, like you could say the same thing about Ross, just like raw foot speed, but McTavish probably just has some more just like raw upside. Like you'd probably feel comfortable projecting him more as like a 30 goal, 35 goal, like potentially right around point per game player. I've said this before, like Rossi to me is just like that really strong two-way presence. Probably gonna like if he hits like potential, probably like flirts with 30. I mean, he did last 25. He flirted with 30 goals last year, but like he's just, to me, he screams more of like a 65, maybe 70 point, like with the right line mates type guy. But like he's gonna give you that two-way upside, two-way ability. McTavish for me is just like he's that raw power forward. He's got more like individual like offensive upside probably, but yeah, they're like probably a little similar. You probably, if it was gonna happen, it would be like maybe Rossi plus something like small, nothing crazy though. Like I don't think they're that far off. Well, I think like Ducks fans,
McTavish?
He's a big boy.
Okay,
like
so Billy will send the entire Iowa farm system.
Well, obviously. You know, McTavish is a big boy, and like he's not afraid to use his side. There were a couple times he was just killing guys in the OHL too. I think he's like 6'2", 2 something.
Nice. Cole, Billy's sushi black card. Yes. He also says, think Kirill working out with Malkin will convince Malkin to come here at the deadline. Cole, you came in after he talked about that. It is funny because, like, I've talked about Malkin being a guy to pursue in the past, like, year or two, just, like, as a talking point, not even all that serious. And people just lost their minds and thought that I was the dumbest person in the world. Now, Russo makes a joke about it on his last show, and I'm sure people will be asking about Malkin to the Wild all year. To be clear, he is not what he's been. I would still pee myself if Malkin came here. Be very fun. But I'm pretty convinced he's going to finish out his year in Pittsburgh and then peace out to Russia. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I think this is his victory lap.
I'm also just going through I just found some of my old draft stuff too. I probably amend I think you'd probably have to do Rossi plus something pretty legit for McTavish.
I think it's Rossi plus a pick or Rossi plus like another, like, I'm not saying like a Zeev Buium blue chip prospect, but like a guy that's in our top like 5 to 8 whenever we do our prospect rankings, which we're already probably behind on. We're usually doing it by now.
Hell yeah.
Oh man.
I forgot how good he was in the second half of the year and how much of his fucking offense was at 5-on-5.
And again, everyone's like, well, he only had 50 points and Rossi had more. It's like, you look at the situations and who they're both playing with. It's just different. And that's not, again, like, I love Marco Rossi. I'm just objectively, McTavish has more upside.
Yeah, I mean, in the right situation too, McTavish is posed for like a fucking big year offensively. Like, I forgot. I mean, the Ducks in general were significantly better in the second half up until like the last like 5 or 6 games. But like, he popped from like January till April. I think he's like point per game, almost all of them at even strength. I forgot how good he was second half of the year.
What are reasonable expectations for the Ducks this year? Because I've seen anywhere from no, they are who they are, and they'll be like a bottom 5 to 10 team, or missing the playoffs would be a big disappointment.
I don't think they're making the playoffs.
Who are they?
I don't know. I think they still stink. Like, I just think
they've got your son.
I know, it just makes me sick.
Does that make you Carl?
Yeah, sure.
Leo, Carl's son.
Yeah, I am Carl. I think they're bad. Like I mean, this year they actually finished like not insanely outside the playoff picture because of that. How much they like turn around the second half of the year. So I would imagine they end up in a similar place, but I still think they overall, like, it's just not a play. I mean, it's the only thing they have going is, and then I have to go back and like look at some of the teams again, like the Atlantic, being the Atlantic Pacific, literally the opposite.
That's the thing.
That helps.
Pacific is the only reason I give them a chance.
Yeah. I think they finished pretty close to where they were last year. But if they move McTavish, like, I don't know, like, depends, like, I guess what they're going to get back. But
what are they going to get back? I mean, they've brought in some veteran guys, which changes the complexion of the team. Having Quenneville certainly makes a difference. Can Dostal be the man?
Right.
If so, they are flirting with playoffs. I'm still not picking them to get in, but I'm at least open to the conversation if he keeps doing what he's been doing. Like, he is kind of the X factor there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really believe in many Pacific teams.
I was pulling up their roster again, and I completely forgot that Cutter Gauthier was actually born in Skellefteå, Sweden. Like, I completely forgot about that. So, like, my brain was like, did the fuck
really?
NH? Yeah, dude, he's born in Sweden. He's another one, though, that could be. I mean, I think he ended up actually scoring 20 goals last year in 82 games. Played in all 82 games. Ended up scoring 20 goals. So who knows? I mean, like, again, we'll see how much the young guy, like, how much more of a step forward the young guys can take, but I still think they're pretty close to what they were last year. I don't know.
It's a weird spot where, like, we've talked about teams like this in the past. I like a lot of their individual players. But then as soon as you show me the roster, I'm like, wait, what? Like, it doesn't come together in the best way.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what Anaheim Duck version of Chris Kreider looks like. Mikael Granlund, can he replicate anything close to what he did last year?
You know what, though? So, Mikael Granlund, for me, I think that he improves their team.
Mm-hmm.
But if you factor in the contract, it's bad. Like, they should not have paid him what they did. But if you just take salary out of it and you just say, here's what our roster is, are we better? I say yes.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they could have done more with that.
Yeah.
But I'm also not the person to ask because I've always been pretty negative when it comes to Mikael Granlund. So take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, they have so many young guys that look like they could potentially be. Well, I don't know. It's going to be weird with that group. I'm curious to see how many of these young players. What?
You think they'll trade Baby Yoshi?
I don't know. Didn't he just sign a long-term deal? Was that a couple of years ago?
That was a couple of years ago, I think. I think he's
Was
like
it really?
2 years into like a, what was it, like fringe 7x7 type deal?
Oh, yeah.
Way off. Now I gotta look this up.
No, it's pretty close what it is, yeah.
And sorry for podcast listeners referring to Troy Terry. He's Baby Oshie because he is international shootout extraordinaire. Troy, 7x7, nailed it.
I was gonna say, I think it was exactly 7x7.
Is Marco Rossi Troy Terry? I think not.
Hell yeah. All right. Yeah, all right.
2 years into a 7x7.
That's the other thing. Oh, actually, Cole just put it in the chat as well. I mean, Jackson Lacombe is he's so goddamn good. And he's was so phenomenal. His numbers for being a young defenseman on the Anaheim Ducks, his, like, obviously just the counting stats, he scored like 14 goals last year, but his underlying, like, metrics in every aspect of the game were unbelievable, especially when you factor in playing in Anaheim.
Yeah. Dude, I talked to him for a little bit at the Gopher alumni golf thing, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get him to jump on with us for Fellowship of the Rink, but, like, hand up, I can admit, absolutely loved him as a Gopher. He was one of those guys that I did not know how his game would translate to the NHL. Like, I did not expect him to be what he is right now, and I'm absolutely thrilled for him that he is. Like, it's awesome to see. I'm a little surprised. Not even that he's gotten there. He's definitely gone a little more than I thought, but he did it quick. He did it fast. I thought it was going to take him a little bit more to transition in. He has taken the league quickly.
No, he pretty much just, like, stepped in and belonged immediately. He's
like, oh, Faber can belong? I'm in.
Let me give that a try.
Everyone's saying Faber's really good. I played with that guy. I can make this work. Oh, man. All right. Well, thank you all for the questions and comments. As always, again, apologies. Mateo is way better at tracking the chat than I am while I'm sitting here trying to monitor what we're talking about, plus following along with you guys. Last thing here then, Z. It won't be a long one, but we've got to go Book of Mammoth. And I thought, unless you had a better idea, I'm up for whatever you think, because we're just kind of picking little bits and pieces here and there until we get to the season and have more to talk about. Do we talk about the Mammoth blue line going into the season?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, look at the overall. Again, it's so funny.
Do I dare even check the daily face-off pairings? Could be very funny. I just talked myself into it. We're doing it.
I was going to say, want me to read them off? I literally just had it open.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Yeah, my thing is I really
I'm going to dislike. Outside of that, I actually kind of like this.
Yeah, the one thing that for me I really wanted because just how good first of all, just how good he obviously was when they drafted him, but how good he's been last few years since being drafted as well. Like, I do think that Dmitry Simashev is ready to play in the NHL, at least like get a cup of coffee. But then you look at so they bring in Nate Schmidt, they re-up Oli Mata for a couple of years. Like, I'm sure he'll get a look. But I mean, this is a kid who's playing like 20 minutes a night in the KHL, more than fitting in him. He was doing that in his draft year too. Like, I'm such a big fan of Dmitry Simashev.
You were all over him his draft year. If anyone wants to know about Dmitry Simashev, go back 2 years and just see everything Z had to say about him.
Which, I mean, it was also like every other time we talked about it, was like, it's so funny. He's got so much offensive upside. He's 0 points this year. It was like, God damn it. He finally had his first game, then he put up a point. He had like 2. I was like, there he is. He's back. But just like the skill, the skating at that size, and how physical he is, defensively is incredible. Like, he can do everything. And like, again, just given the skill that he has, there's obviously insane upside, but like just ridiculously high floor. Like, I'd be shocked if he doesn't at the very least turn into just a minute munching like 4D, like killing entire penalties, even strength, like logging crazy minutes. Maybe he doesn't end up popping offensive in the NHL. Like, that wouldn't totally shock me. But like, as far as like how he can facilitate from the back end and his ability to transport the puck up the ice and like just initiate offense that way, like, he's just such a good defenseman overall, and like a modern day like critical part of your back end. So I love Dmitry Simashev. I really think he could play in the NHL if he were to get the chance, but we'll see. At least off the jump, we'll see if there's anyone there, any openings. But given the fact that they re-up Mata, they bring in Schmidt, Ian Cole. I mean, he could supplant Ian Cole.
Well, no. So here, I was gonna say, if Ian Cole's off-ice bullshit goes awry, who knows? But then again, he's in Utah. He can potentially have a couple wives, so maybe it's not a problem as long as she's single.
And we went there.
Had to. Curious what you think, because I mean, end of the day, everyone is sitting here celebrating the JJ Peterka trade, which, hey, he's a great player. He's absolutely going to help fortify their forward group. Kesselring being gone. How much of a hit is that in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a hit just because he was like the one solid defensive defenseman that stayed healthy. Obviously, like, I mean,
like, you think Simashev can step in and kind of be not a carbon copy by any means, but like can kind of take the reins?
Maybe. I mean, either way, there's going to be adjusting. Like, there's going to be adjustments, like, especially early on. But I mean, again, like, who knows if he even is on the team, like, out of camp. I would imagine he should be, because he's just that good, and he's played several years of pro hockey already. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, I don't know, even if he does make the team, I don't know how much responsibility he's going to get. But like, when you just look at who they have on their back end right now, like, that Kesselring is a big hit. Hopefully guys like especially when you look the right side, like, you hope Dursey, Marino can get and stay healthy all year.
Marino stays healthy. I freaking love that guy.
Right. And I mean, like, him with Sergachev, who went nuts. But by the way, it is unbelievably impressive that Sergachev's had 2 legitimately like horrific injuries, comes back last year, plays like 77 games, puts up like 70 goals and 50 something points. Like, he is a machine. Like, he's incredible.
Russian machine never breaks.
Yeah.
Nope. You know the name that's on this blue line that bothers me.
How many years did they give him? 3, 4? Oli Mata?
Too many.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Anyone besides Simashev that you're watching to make a push for a spot in this top 6? Or I guess starting 6?
I mean, like Maverick Lamoureux, by the end of the year last year, was an NHL player. I think he played 14, 15 games. And I mean, that's another guy when you look at like long term, like someone closer to like Kesselring's kind of like overall profile. I mean, like Lamoureux's a 6'7" fucking physical mutant, like hits everything that moves, will fight, solid defender. And I mean, he's got some good hands too, obviously. I already know where that smirk. I already know.
Has he gotten a cup of coffee yet, or no?
What?
Has he gotten a cup of coffee?
He played 15 games last year. He fit in. Like he was playing. He looked good. So I think he could. Again, like, that could be another reason. Like Simashev might not even. But I mean, they've just got a bunch of young guys that are ready to go. But who knows? But
he gets his first goal in the NHL, and his parents are in the stands. How do they celebrate?
Yeah, you know exactly how they celebrate. We talked about this before. Just gonna move on. I also did forget that like Lamoureux did play 15 games, like put up 3 points, but 42 penalty minutes. That's impressive.
I thought he got like a couple games. I didn't know he got 15.
Yeah, I think by the end of the year he was in there. He was a regular for them. It looked like he was ready to be regular, but like 42 pims in fucking 15 games. That boy.
Keep the change.
But yeah, the youth movement for the Utah, especially on that back end, is very exciting long term. Like, and they've got some big motherfuckers like Dmitry Simashev, 6'5", Max Seneca, 6'4", Will Skahan, 6'5". This is Maverick Lamoureux, 6'7". Like, they are gonna be scary.
Well, we almost gotta for them rebrand the what is it in Letterkenny? Is it BFIs? They call. I'm pretty sure it's BFIs. They call them BFIs, big fucking engines.
Oh, can't say that.
We got to rebrand that here and say BFRs. They got a lot of big
Russians.
fucking Russians, dude.
Oh yeah,
Like been their specialty the last 3 or 4 drafts.
Yeah, they're not afraid.
What is the status for Boot?
I think he was in. Let's see, how many games did he play in the last year? Oh no, yeah, he played. It was over halfway every game in the KHL last year. I think he's projected to be in Tucson this year. At least that's where it's listed here. I don't know for sure, but
I didn't know if he was coming over yet. That was more my question.
Yeah, I think the plan was for both him and Simashev to be coming over this year. He's been the fact that he's already put up 2 legit seasons in the KHL, like just under half point per game in 23-24. Then last year he puts up 28 points in 54 games, plus 13. Like a not great locomotive team. Like it's impressive. He's so fun. I love watching him play.
He was one of those guys because it's funny. Like you're never gonna like. It's just not in your personality to shit on a draft pick. But it's really fun watching the ones where you're genuinely like changing your mind as it happens. You're like, that's a little early for Boot, but god damn it, I love that.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, it's like half of it. It's just like
the ones that was like the pinnacle where you're like, that's early, but damn it, that's fun. Okay, I'm in. I like it.
Yeah. I'm all in. 6'6" right shot left wing, like just can absolutely rip a puck, comically good hands, like dynamic skill. Like yeah, sign me up.
And the interview with Simashev will just live on forever.
Yeah, that rocked.
It's like, wait, who did they just take? Daniil Boot. Yeah. Holy shit, that's my best friend.
Yeah, that rules.
I
mean, I don't know if we had anything else, but I forgot the one thing that I should have mentioned when we were talking about the Hlinka in general is another kid that was playing for Team Canada, Adam Valenti, just committed to Michigan. So
Adam who?
Valentini. Sorry, not Valenti. That's a different kid. Valentini. Did that like as of like 6 hours ago, I think. Decided to it's going to be playing for Michigan, so like they're loading up, obviously. I think he was projected to go. God, was it the 08? I think it was Bram or did he get drafted by Brampton? And then he was playing. Oh yeah, it was Kitchener. Is where he was gonna be playing in the OHL, and then I think there maybe a switch to this. He played for the USHL or in the USHL for the Chicago Steel. Was planning on going to Kitchener, and then out of nowhere just committed to Michigan today. I think that's how it went.
Chicago Steel path to Michigan continues.
Mm-hmm. He's a player. Late first round guy. Looks good at the Hlinka. First few games, anyways. But yeah, I don't know. No, I think that's about it for anything we have.
All right, we did it. I gotta throw out there because I'm gonna go meet up with a guy here locally. Have you seen the stuff for Badass Wood Art?
No.
Sweet. Like he literally has like, we'll call it like yay big. Anyone that's listening, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing on the screen, but I'd say like this big Z. And it's like literally scenes from like movies and TV shows. Like he has really good ones. Like he's got like Nightman Cometh on there. He's got like just a bunch of random shit. And I want to come up with something where we almost like do, I don't know if it's going to be weekly or monthly or something different, but almost have a different theme or genre, whether it's like a show or movies with Will Ferrell, or just pick a specific movie and like talk about the best scenes and moments and quotes and get people on social media and on here to chime in and like come up with like what's the best one to do, and then have some kind of like contest or something for giveaways.
Hell yeah.
That'd be very fun.
I like that.
Like let's soft lead this. Like if we did one, if something comes to fruition here, let's go role models, the one that we refer to the most. Like, what are the top scenes that we could do for that?
Of course, he has a turtle.
Of course, he has a turtle's a good one.
I give a shit.
I mean, Kiss My Anthea is definitely a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nope. Just a bald guy sitting in a chair. That is not me.
Yeah, that's just...
Or just...
Congratulations, you're stupid in 3 languages would be another one.
Yeah. What do you have for dinner? Is it cocaine?
Okay. You know what I had?
If we can somehow loop Russo in for one of these. 20, asshole.
Yeah,
is that true?
Is that true? Yeah. Oh, what a movie.
I don't know. I feel like that could be very fun if we like got actual input and interaction from people, plus just the stupid things that we think are funny.
I was gonna say the role models one would probably be unique to you, me, and like 6 other people.
Those 6 people are gonna have a great time. I also have a better one, but I also feel like it's one that he wouldn't do. Certain plate design.
Oh yeah.
We gotta come. There's got to be a good one though with King Argatron too.
Yeah. I don't know off the top of my head.
Let's see if we know ahead of time what the category is. We can put some like pre-thought into this. We can have actual like images and graphics to throw on. Like it could be a fun thing. I don't know. Early stages, but I think it's something we could workshop into being fun.
Yeah.
Just imagine if we like did Always Sunny. Like we'd almost have to break that down season by season or character by character. We could spend 2 hours talking about worthy Always Sunny scenes. Could we not?
People would get even more mad.
The people that get mad probably shouldn't be here, and the other ones would have a great time.
All the bots.
Yeah, can bots get mad?
Probably.
I don't want to find out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been fun. We appreciate those of you that actually carve out time to hang out with us at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. Z's a hero. To talk about summer nothingness of hockey. hopefully in the next like couple weeks here, we'll actually have regular updates and things to really talk about. But for now, we grasp at straws. We appreciate you indulging us and engaging and actually giving us more things to talk about. I think that's all we got for this one. We will catch all of you next week, hopefully.
I mean, you know, it's the plan.
That's the plan. We'll stick to it the best we
if my
can.
health holds up, which it won't. But you know, if it's good enough to go, yeah.
I like the idea of Coke more than I actually like it.
Boom.